Hello Galactic family. Humanity is riding the wave towards its moment of awakening, and this is very close now. Let go of your doubts and anxieties because all is well. Your awakening, as you have been told so often, is inevitable. It seems to you that you have been waiting a very long time for this magnificent event, but in truth it has been but a moment, an instant. Separation from Source never occurred. It could not occur because there is nowhere to separate to. There is only Source, the infinite field of love in which all that is created has its eternal existence in peace and joy. However, for a moment, for a tiny instant, you imagine separation, and because you are imbued with the infinite power of Source, what you imagine seemed to come into existence, and it seems that you are trapped, ensnared, and immobilized within a vast universe of physicality, of form. It is completely unreal, even though to you it seems very solid, because in form you are always in contact with other objects in form, from the ground beneath your feet to everything with which you interact during your daily lives. Life appears to be very physical as your bodies interact with other physical bodies and objects. But, if you pay close attention to your feelings, to your sensations of consciousness or awareness, it becomes quite clear that you are not your bodies. There is within you a knowing that you can depart from where your body is physically, for instance while sitting, walking, working, driving a car. In any moment your mind can be somewhere far removed from the space in which your body is present. You are not your body, but you move it and manipulate it, or parts of it, by intending to do so. Who is it then that sets that intent? It's a sense of awareness in your field of consciousness through which you know that you exist, your ability to imagine, and it is that which makes the decision to act on what you imagined. In truth you are far freer than you think you are, but you choose to be limited by your bodies. Over recent decades many people have been able to make their bodies faster and stronger, both physically and mentally, through various kinds of training, and the results of this can be seen in the new records being set in athletic and academic contests all over the world. Nevertheless, bodies are limiting because you intended them to be, but you yourselves are not limited except insofar as you believe yourselves to be. And because humanity generally believes itself to be limited, restrained, restricted, that is what people generally experience. To awaken is to let go of and discard limitations, and in so doing to set yourselves completely free from all limits or restraints. Your true state is one of absolute and complete freedom, and deeply buried memories of this are what drive you to push boundaries, to seek more from life than seems possible to humans in form. Many reach a level of freedom that is far advanced from what their parents experience, and they are then often happy to settle for that higher level of freedom. Others believe that they can never achieve the level of freedom their parents experience, and settle unhappily at that lower level. A few believe that they should not be limited at all, and spend their lives pushing the boundaries of human abilities and freedoms to ever higher levels. Your individual beliefs set your limitations for you, and those beliefs are strongly influenced by the collective beliefs of the culture and society in which you are living. Now is the time to release those invalid and limiting beliefs, beliefs that anchor you in the past, in past memories of limitation. I can't possibly do that. What would people think? I could never learn how to do that now, I'm too set in my ways. The way I'm living my life is working for me, so why risk changing it? That appear to offer safety and security. Limiting beliefs are like veils or screens that prevent you from seeing the enormous possibilities that life offers you because, out of fear, you refuse to question them by opening those veils and screens and looking beyond them. Fixed and unquestioned beliefs are self-imposed limits that further add to the basic limitations that are a major aspect of being in form as humans. These are most easily seen in others who support religious persuasions, economic views, philosophies, or political convictions different from your own, whereas they are often extremely difficult to see in oneself. That egoic and fearful need to be right, with which so many are infected, has led humanity into vicious conflicts over the ends, conflicts that cause endless pain and suffering for vast numbers of people, and which never lead to resolution of the issues that appear to have led to the conflicts in the first place. Experience is gained when mistakes or errors are made and the reason for them is investigated and understood, and there are numerous situations occurring daily in which this happens. One of the lessons that is learned over and over again is that humans do make mistakes and errors, learning what caused them, and then taking steps to prevent their reoccurrence, leads to wisdom. Unfortunately, mainly out of fear, defective or dishonest judgments are often offered in attempts to fault others for errors that occur, in order to shift blame from those responsible to those others, so that they themselves can avoid being shamed and punished. In recent decades, much progress has been made in understanding the reasons for human error, and new laws and guidelines have been introduced to reduce and, where possible, prevent errors from occurring. However, when mistakes are made, those responsible, often people who are at the senior management levels of the organization involved, are almost invariably filled with fear and horror, and will engage in almost any kind of subterfuge to avoid being held responsible. The way forward is to change the way mistakes are dealt with, so that those responsible can file truthful reports about what has occurred, in the knowledge that they will be lovingly assisted in dealing with the sense of horror and guilt that arises within them as a result of their mistake, and thus helping enormously in the prevention of further occurrences of a similar nature. Obviously, if criminal negligence or criminal intent is found to be the cause of the event, those responsible must be called to account. Then, after a full investigation has been carried out, they must be given the loving support necessary to enable them to change the misguided beliefs that led them to behave as they did. Remember, you are all, and there are absolutely no exceptions, beloved children of God, perfect, just as you were created. The momentary choice you made to experience separation is about to be reversed so that you awaken. Until then, it is essential that you daily set the intent to be only loving in your thoughts, words, and actions. When you do that, your intention affects all of humanity, and all of humanity is then mightily assisted in moving away from fear, judgment, and blame, and into a loving mindset from which to interact lovingly and respectfully with each other, just as God does. This is an essential step on your path to awakening, and it is the way in which Mother, Father, God, Source, Love, always interact and engage with all of creation. It is how you will experience life when you awaken, and thus eternal joy will embrace and envelop you.